Hi guys, Leanne Holitza here, the Healing Studio, Brimfield, Colorado. I hope you guys are staying warm, having a good weekend. Thanks for joining me. I know that many of you have been here before, so you already know how to get a card from me today. You just type me please in the comments, and we will get you a card for the week. But we are going to do a weekly spread for all of us that we're going to build on top of, and then we'll do a 1, 2, 3. That's going to be the first card. So even if you're watching later, that could be a card that you can tap into. And then I suggest sticking around because we start to get themes where there's cards that come more than 3 times, and then that means it's for all of us. So let's see. I'm trying to think of a couple announcements. We just had a fusion sound bath, which actually went great. Was really fun and good for all involved. I think we're going to be doing some more of those. There's a sound bath tonight that doesn't involve energy healing, at least not for me. Melissa has her own thing. Yeah, and just we've got our regular stuff going on, and we're always kind of trying to put some other things together. So just check out our website if you're interested in what we got going on. I am using this is the Wood Dragon spray from Amanda Ellis that's about luck, success, growth, and power. Okay, so we're going to use that today. Also, I have a few little crystal friends hanging out here right now, but purpurite, it's kind of unassuming as far as what it looks like, but really good for opening up to change and wisdom and what might actually be going on when things are changing. So that might be good for this week. All right, let's do this. Oh, yeah, and here's what we're using for. We're using the archetype cards from Carolyn Miss. All right, that's our personal cards, but we're starting off with our yantra deck. Yantra. Okay, this week starts off. Okay, a little bit of holding or trying to control or like feeling a little extra clenched starting off the beginning of the week. The helper cards is the choices have already been made, okay? It's already been done. Be in love. Make the choice of love. There's nothing really more to choose right now. Don't go making new choices. Just let what's already happening unfold, okay? And then end of the week, presents sideways. So this is kind of like when it's like this, it's like it's more about listening than it is about talking. It's more about being present with what is rather than trying to change it with your words or your actions. Okay, so by the end of the week, you're being asked to just kind of pause and be present. All right. Here's your first 1, 2, 3s. Okay, so feel into your heart about this. These are archetype cards. So there's a shadow side and a sun, positive side, a lighter attributes. Depending on which direction the card comes out, okay? And you can see this is a pretty fat deck, so if we start to get something more than 3 times, it's really good to listen, okay? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so feel into which one might be yours. All right, if you picked 1, you got the Avenger, but it was upside down, so let me read this to you. Shadow attributes are resorting to violence in the name of a cause. Okay, so careful. Look out for the part of you that wants to get a little bit aggressive this week. The Avenger energies, the dark side of that is violence, which you don't want to really be engaging in. You picked 2, you're working with rebel energy. Okay, and it's right side up. So it says, challenging authority to affect social change, reject spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. Okay, so that'll be your focus for yourself this week. And if you picked 3, you're working with the light side of scribe. The light side of scribe says preserving knowledge and information. Okay, the journalists among us, just taking the notes for us. Okay, so there's your focus. If that's our start, let's keep going with our me pleases. All right, Elizabeth, you made it to the top of the list there. We are going to tune in to what you might need to know about your week and your focus. Okay, your focus this weekend is light attribute of networker. Okay, it says enhances unity through sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. So this week, work your positive networks, work your influence over those networks, shine that light all around, even when people are feeling like they can't see the lights or don't appreciate the light. Okay, Sam, your focus this week is going to be the beggar in the light attributes. Okay, so it says confronts empowerment at the level of physical survival, awakens the spiritual authority of humility, compassion, and self-esteem. All right, so this is a good week for you to really be aware of your own empowerment, how you are empowering yourselves, how you are empowering those around you. Empowerment is the key word. Kimberly. Ooh, you're working with the light attributes of vampire this week, okay? It says makes you aware that someone or something is draining your life force, okay? Now, I have recently been trying to recover from having very drained life force, and I let myself go way down the drain, and that was kind of intense for me to try to come back. I'm starting to feel a little bit better, but I think this vampire card is basically like, don't let yourself get like me. Don't let yourself get super drained this week. Really paying attention to what is taking that your life force that is for you. Okay. Jenny and Jared. Jenny, you're working with the exorcist light attributes. Okay. Says freeing yourself from and others from destructive impulses. Okay. So new habits this week, new focuses on again, that life force energy that might have been drained. This is a good week to focus on doing something a little different. Jared, oh, you got vampire, but upside down. So that means you're working with the shadow attributes of the vampire, which is depleting others for your psychic survival, chronic complaining, and codependency. So just watch out. Watch out for those complaining words. Watch out for those words of, like kind of speaking in to the truth about how, things are not going well or whatever. Just kind of watch how that might be draining things. Denise, you're going to be working with the light attribute of hero heroine, which says passion for the journey of personal empowerment. Starting to feel like that might be the word, you guys. Personal empowerment. Be your own hero. See how heroic things have been over your lifetime. Kind of celebrate that this week, okay? Kara, you're working with the dark shadow attributes of the angel. Okay, so it says acting innocent or angelic to mislead others, falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. So just your guides are calling you out, like, don't pretend you're an angel this week, Car. You're not an angel. So just kind of focusing on where you might be, kind of being called out to be a little more realistic about your own actions this week. Okay, Tatiana, you're working with the light attribute of victim, which is prevents you from letting yourself be victimized or victimizing others. You're going to really be able to recognize this week how not to play with the victim energy, because victim energy is not empowering. All right, Tiff, you're working with the child eternal in the light, which says determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit, ability to see things with fresh eyes. Ooh, beginner's mind. We were being asked to do that last week too. We're just still kind of in that, I suppose. Keep a childlike mind. Cynthia, you've got prostitute, but on the dark shadow side of things. So let's see. It says places material considerations and security above self-empowerment. So careful not to give yourself away too much. And kind of like sell out this week. Okay, that's kind of what you're being asked to kind of notice. Pull that back. Terry, you're working with the light side of gossip. It says awakens consideration for the feelings of others and honoring trust. So give yourself just a moment to just, see where your words are really carrying and where you want them to carry and where you want to be more careful. That's all. Okay. Nicole and Addison. Nicole, rebel. Okay. So in the upside though, if you got rebel at the beginning, you're also not just working with the light, you're working with the dark, which says rejects legitimate authority out of anger, rebels out of peer pressure or fashion. Okay, so just don't have to be the rebellious teenager type this week. Watch out for that side of you that just wants to pout and be rebellious. Addison, oh, I shuffled and shuffled, you guys. You are working with the light side of the rebel, okay? Challenge authority to affect social change, reject spiritual systems that do not serve your inner needs. Third time we've seen the card. Second time we've seen it upright. Everybody take note. Nicole and Addison, you guys are going to be working with the rebel energy. Okay, Miranda, you're working with the light of victim twice it's appearing. Prevent you from letting yourself be victimized or victimizing others. Don't go there. It does not empower you. It does not give you space. All right. All right, Taryn, yes, you're welcome in advance. You have a warm and bright day too. All right, you're working with Messiah upside down, okay? So the shadowed attributes of Messiah are exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. You don't have to do it all yourself is basically what that card is saying, okay? It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to not be the only one who's executing on things. Tanya, you are working on the mystic light attributes, revealing an intimate union with the divine. Okay, so a little more communing with the divine this week, a little more meditation or divination or whatever things really call to you, you to back to like your source connection. All right, Kay and the clan here. Okay, Kay. Here, that totally came out wrong. Okay, here you go. Don Juan. Okay, this is the shadow attribute you got, which is using the power of romantic attraction for private agendas. Oh, careful. Don't put your Don Juan on this week. No private agendas. Ian, you are going to want to work on the martyr energy, but in the light attributes, okay? So learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself and or a cause. All right. So no martyr like woe is me, but like I want to go ahead and put myself in this space. Charlie, saboteur in the shadow attributes. Okay. So induces self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others. I want to point out that the imagery on this card is he's in a balloon. He's going to pop with a needle. He's in the balloon. So just be on the lookout for any of your inner saboteur behaviors this week. Okay. Don't pop your own balloon. Noah, you want to focus on the martyr energy too, so you and your dad can do this together. Learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself and others. And Evan, boop, boop, doop. Evan, you're working with the light attribute of slave. Surrender your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. Okay, so sometimes it looks like if I had to put Ian and Noah and Evan, you guys together, it's probably learning how to be of service without being self-destructive. Okay. All right, Kelly and Matthew. Kelly, you're working with the guides. Represents the nature of the divine and the light of yourself. Okay. Woohoo. Sounds good to me. It's pretty self-explanatory. Matthew, you're going to be focusing this week on, the hero upside down. Okay. So shadow attributes are escapism or a false sense of heroism. All right. So just check out if you're being escaping or if you're feeling like you have to be the hero in kind of that dark way. Okay. Burnout. Burnout. Proof. Okay, here we go. Gambler. Light attributes are willingness to follow your intuition even when others doubt you. Go for it this week. Take the risk. Put yourself out on a limb. Sounds like a good thing. Blossoming. Oh, saboteur, shadow side, you and Charlie both. Inducing self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others. Careful. Careful now. Careful. You're in the balloon. Don't self-sabotage this week. Shannon, you are going to work with the queen upside down. Okay. So become arrogant when authority is challenged. Controlling and demanding is the shadow attribute. So be careful not to be get your shadowy queen out this week, becoming arrogant to authority. Okay. Lisa, you are going to be focusing on the networker. The second time we've seen this in the light, enhances unity through sharing the information, engenders social awareness and empathy. So leading your teams through kindness and goodness. The networks, whoever it is that you're networking with. Robin, for you this week, you're going to want to focus on the monk or the nun. Light attribute, selfless devotion, and single-minded dedication to spirit. Let's get a little simple, maybe, about your spirit connection. Chris, you are going to work with the upside of slave. Second time we've seen that today, you guys. Surrendering your power to the choice of divine with complete trust. Okay, whatever you're being asked to do, just do it. You'll not even know why you're being asked to do it right now. It's okay. Austin, your focus for the week is Don Juan and the right side up. Spotlight your positive, seductive qualities. All right, so just keeping yourself aware that you might want to use that charisma this week to get somewhere. Kimberly, servant in the shadow. Okay, it says using the lack of money as an excuse not to move forward with life. Okay, careful. That's calling you out. That's saying don't do that. All right. You never know how things are going to work out, Juan Carlos, you are working with the trickster in the shadow. Okay. Focus on manipulating others through duplicity. So just notice where you're doing that or it's being done to you. Be on the lookout for that this week, just so you can have a little bit more of awareness around it. Okay. Diane, you are working with the saboteur right side up. Okay, third time we've seen this card. So everybody start paying attention to the saboteur message. Highlights the fear of self-empowerment and the change it would bring to your life. What if you just focused on self-empowerment this week and nothing else? What would happen? All right, Eli, you're going to be focusing on the athlete. Oh, light attributes. Dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps. Development of personal willpower and strength of spirit. So a little extra physical activity for you this week. Janelle, you're going to be working with the shadow side of the seeker, okay? Inability to commit to a path once found, okay? Keep on the path. Don't give up. Spirit wants you to keep going. Donnie, you want to focus this week on the Avenger in the light attributes. If you picked one at the beginning, it was the shadow attribute, but this time it's light. It says desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society and oneself. Okay, so focus in on the positive aspects of being an Avenger this week. Janice, you want to focus on the Prince light attribute, okay? Romantic charm and potential for power, okay? So go look into your romantic world and where, there might be room for a prince or at least the energy of that, okay? Heidi, you got two. You got servant in the light, which is delight in serving others with free and loving heart. But you got the artist in the shadow, okay, which says using talents as an excuse to mistreat others, posing as a starving artist to elicit pity. Okay, so be in the service to others, but don't be the starving artist, okay? So watch out where that might be playing out, basically. All right, Kalina. Oh, artist again, doubling down on this, you guys. Basically, be careful not to be kind of like in that like brooding, artistic, slave to your talents mindset, okay? Be more aware of your gifts are yours to offer as you choose to offer them. Christy, detective, light attribute says great powers of observation and intuition, desire to seek the truth. So keep looking. Remember the beginning of the cards this week, we're working on, the choices have already been made and just kind of keeping our mouth closed and looking at what's happening. Kira, you brought third time's a charm, you guys. Light attributes, third time's a charm. delight in serving others with free and loving heart. So third time's a charm means it's for all of us to be giving and of service to others this week. Finn, you have brought the heroine hero card back again, which is also this is the second time it's been upside down. Escapism and the false sense of heroism. Okay, so be careful that you're not trying to win anything over or feel like you're the one who has to do it. Okay, Courtney. Ooh, you got bully in the shadow. Conceals deep fears behind verbal and physical abuse. Okay, be on the lookout where that's being done or where it's being done to you, or just in general, the energy of bully and the shadow and how that can control us all. And we don't have to let that happen. Okay, Stephanie. Shadow vampire. Second time we've seen this one. Depleting others for your psychic survival, chronic complaining, and codependency. So be careful. Be careful not to be too codependent. To be careful not to be complaining a lot about how things are. Just really watch your words this week, okay? Hannah, you're focusing on the hedonist in the shadow. Okay, that says pursues pleasure to the detriment of health, indulges at the expense of others. Watch out this week for that over consuming, basically, is what that's kind of cautioning you about. And Isabella, you're bringing the servant back, but with the shadow attribute, okay? So using the lack of money as an excuse not to move forward with life, or the lack of your own money, if you will. So just kind of be careful about that and notice this week how that's playing out, okay? Margie, your card is the vampire in the right side up. This has started to circle around, you guys. We've almost hit this 3 times. Makes you aware when something is draining your life force, okay? So just be aware this week. What is draining you? Don't keep consenting to the drain. Safari, you got the light attributes for the artist, which says expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the 5 senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. So give yourself a chance to really reach into that space of, you know, symbolism, pattern recognition, and sharing what you think that means on a different level. Gina, third time's a charm for the victim in the light attribute, you guys. So this says, don't be a victim this week. None of us are victims. The victim energy is very alluring. It can very much lead you into disempowering yourself. You are not a victim. Everybody, listen to that message. That is the third time the charm in the lights. Gina, if your guides want you to just recognize where it's other people too are trying to get you to play in that space with them. And everybody gets more empowered when they are seen as the powerful. No pity for anybody. Okay, Crystal. Samaritan in the shadow attributes, okay? So it's upside down. Exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. Okay, so this is wanting to be recognized for the help that you offer, wanting recognition. And the shadowy side of that is, like, if you go back to it, just back to our week's card, is just helping for the sake of loving to help. Okay, Natalie. Okay, you got exorcist in the upside down shadow. So this is fear of facing your own demons. Okay, so this week is a week to just recognize where that might be playing out and where you might want to do something a little different. Okay, go ahead and face those demons. Those demons are not as scary as they feel. These cards go fast because they are they have the words on them, and so anyway, we're getting through. Carrie, monk in the right side up. Okay, so selfless devotion to a single-minded dedication to spirit. So really be into the source connection this week. Just single-minded about it. Doesn't have to be complicated. Just put yourself in alignment with it. It's kind of like the monk and the nun. They're even, you know, there's sometimes they're isolated. Sometimes they are by themselves with spirit for just the sake of being by themselves with spirit. So, all right. If you guys are hanging out and you haven't gotten a card, and you think you've already asked for a card, especially, type me please again, because I'm at the bottom of my list. So Deanna's at the bottom. So if you're still there or you want a card and you haven't asked for one yet, me please would be a time to do that. Deanna, you are going to work with the thief in the shadow side, okay? All right. It says stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or others' power you think you lack. So watch out. Don't steal power that's not yours. Watch out for, especially with these other two themes that are really playing out with the victim energy and feeling, being a servant to the to humanity, if you will. Okay, I'm going to put up the me please again. I'm going to throw a card for Matt. Focus for the week. Oh, he's bringing the servant back in the shadowy side. Okay, so that's actually the third time that we've gotten the shadows upside down too. So servant all around this week. Okay, so I'm going to read the bottom again. Using the lack of money as an excuse not to move forward in life. Okay, servant, don't do that. Okay, I'm going to bring up the book, see if there's anything else that we could maybe know about that. Since we have some time. All right, let's see. It says, engages aspects of the psyche that call us to make ourselves available to others for the benefit and enhancement of their lives. May include spiritual service to the divine or other people. Indentured servants sees one bound by conditions of service, not of one's choosing, because of the ability to buy one's freedom or symbolically come into one's own power. Shadow servant fails to be of service to oneself and loses all focus on the values of one's own life. If making choices that serve your highest potential is a substantial personal issue for you, then consider this archetype for your support team. Okay. If making choices, I'm going to say that again, that serve your highest potential is a substantial personal issue for you, then consider this archetype for your support team. Okay. So you guys, we are all going to be in that energy of service. I know that there's some big things going on this week. I'm not necessarily going to just go into talking about all of it, but I do know that there's some feelings of maybe a loss of power or feeling scared about what's next. And, I just want everybody to really remember the cards of the victim and saying, like, we're not victims of any of it. We actually have a lot of power. That's why everybody's always fighting for our attention and wanting us to look their direction, that kind of thing. So, just ask for help from the higher sources, ask to see what's really happening, and then give yourself the opportunity to really actually see it. Oh, interesting. The guides want me to throw a card for what's actually happening right now. Okay, let's see. Maybe it'll be a third time's the charm card. What's actually happening this week is the archetype of the trickster. Okay, in the shadow. Go figure, right? Manipulating others through duplicity. Okay, I hope you guys all see this the way I see it, because it is so true. It is so happening right now that we are in the trickster energy, which, on the positive side, it's transcending convention and stuffiness and predictable behavior. So we're definitely not in the predictable behavior. We're not in the realm of everything makes sense and everything is kosher and sweet and amazing. No, we're not there, but that's okay. So just kind of acknowledge the trickster, just see it for what it is. It's not, we don't have to be like running around like chickens. There's a trickster in the hen house. Nope. Just be like, it's there. I see it and I'm not falling for it. Whatever that means for you. Okay. I know we all have our personal opinions about this time. It's okay. And we're just in such a heavy change period. And it's just like, and that's probably why we're also being asked not to get depleted. Because, that life force energy that we have is ours to use. And if we give it away constantly, we might find ourselves really unable to use the life force energy of change when it's time for us to change. So just be out there in positive light land. Not with wool over your eyes or anything. I'm not asking you to pretend what is going on isn't going on. I'm just saying maybe try and ask for a little higher messages while you do it. Okay? All right. Well, that's it for me today. I'll see you next week. Go be amazing.